This is a review for the two-person camping tent that I recently purchased on Amazon. It's advertised here as the brand Tangkula, but when I opened it, I found the brand name Costway on the instructions, and on the bag, the brand Goplus. So, if you were to buy this, I'm not sure what brand you might find it under. But this is a review on this so-called two-person camping tent. It was $18.99, probably its most appealing feature. Really, if you're wanting to find out if this tent will work, because you're looking for the cheapest possible tent, it might be the tent you're looking for. So I've already got it set up. Took less than 2 minutes. It's incredibly simple. The standard, you put your poles together, slide them through. Down here, got these rather cheap kind of hooks and feet, but would do the job, I guess. Holds enough tension. So the pros and cons of this tent, I got it set up really quickly. It was under $20. If you are buying a tent to go camping with your friends that you're only going to use once, this may very well be the camping tent for you. If it's going to be raining, I don't think that this would be really ideal, but it may be good enough. If good enough is good enough for you, cool, this may work. For what I'm looking for, I'm not sure that it is. So, the first thing is, when I got it set up, I noticed that the stitching around the zippers is just really lightweight. It looks more like clothing thread. And my first time zipping this up and down from the inside, the zipper got caught on the thread and started to pull it apart. So the quality on this is for sure low. All over the place there's just really low quality stitching. That low quality stitching also resulted in a hole on the inside. It's not the biggest hole in the world, but it is big enough to film through. And it's right on the seam where the tension of the tent is kind of pulling it apart. So I imagine that this hole is going to get larger over time. It describes it as a two-person tent, although I cannot imagine two people trying to sleep comfortably in here. I am 5'10" and 135 pounds. I'm very slender and of pretty average height. And laying down, my feet touch the bottom and my head touches the top. Sleeping, this would be incredibly claustrophobic. If I sleep diagonal, my feet press against the edge. I have a little bit of head clearance. I would have to do this to try to sleep, of course. I would probably be sleeping, on my side, bunched up or something. Again, there's no way I can imagine fitting two people in here, or even one person comfortably with very many belongings. If you are, if you're like going on a backpack trip, day hike, camping in the woods, or if you're staying with your friends and they have an RV and you just need a place to literally sleep, this may work for that. My goal is to provide these to the homeless. I'm looking for a tent that is relatively inexpensive that I can buy in bulk. And so these are going to become basically homes temporarily for the homeless during the rainy season. And I'm concerned about a person trying to seek shelter in here having not enough ventilation. The vents on top are incredibly small. Not even all 4 of the panels are vented, only 2. So besides that, it's going to get really hot in here really quickly. You're going to need to have this front door open, and if there's any rain coming down at all, the tent itself does not even zip to the base. The doors are the only waterproof area, but there's no zipper across the bottom of the doors. So this is going to invite water if there's any rain. If there's any wind, the rain is likely to get in through this door flap at the base. And so this, as being an attempt at a solution to provide a waterproof shelter to the homeless, I'm not sure that this is actually going to provide that. It certainly would not work in the summer because, as I said, there's just no ventilation. It would get really swelteringly hot very, very quickly. So between the low quality stitching, the no ventilation, how close, if there's any wind or rain, I imagine some could get in there. The base goes up really high. That's nice. The at least what appears to be waterproof base. But all in all, for $20, I think that if you're looking for something that's literally better than nothing, this may be the least expensive something you can get. But I think that for everything you want a tent for, this is bad. It doesn't keep you away from the elements that the water will still get in. It wouldn't keep you out of heat because it would trap you in with heat. It doesn't provide enough space to sleep comfortably and to stretch out. It doesn't provide enough space for privacy. And so, given that there are other tents within $2, $3, $5, I think that this is not worth the few dollars saved and would not provide a good solution for somebody living on the street. And if you're just going out with your friends, you know, for the weekend and you're never going to use a tent again, and you're not bringing that much stuff with you, or if the weather is really nice and you can leave your stuff outside and it's just you sleeping in it to, you know, perhaps shake the tent at night, this may work fine. But if you need a tent for any reason, elemental or weather related, I think that this is not a sufficient solution.